Bukayo Saka aims to break Arsenal's April curse as Mikel Arteta handed double injury boost. Gunners hopeful that troublesome right-hand side will soon be solved as Bukayo Saka and Jurrien Timber setup returns. There was a pointed message from Mikel Arteta after Arsenal's defeat to Bournemouth. Whether it was aimed at the players, the medical staff, or a combination of the two, Arteta was evidently frustrated with the unavailability of some key players. The ones that are not involved, the ones that are not with us, that are really big, important players, we need them immediately with us, Arteta said. It is no surprise that injuries are on Arteta's mind. In the 2022-23 campaign, William Saliba's back injury sparked the unravelling of Arsenal's season. Injuries also hit last term. Speaking ahead of Sunday's defeat to Manchester City, Arteta did not hesitate when asked what his biggest lesson was from years of falling short in the title race. "Get all the players available in April," he replied. "I said it many times, that's the biggest lesson. April, May, the whole squad available, your best players on the pitch as much as possible. Probability to win it increases dramatically. It's as simple and as difficult as that." That is again proving difficult for the Gunners. Martin Odegaard was back for the trip to City, but Arsenal was still without Bukayo Saka, Jurrien Timber, Riccardo Calafiori and Mikel Merino. Merino has been a big miss over the last few months. His versatility would have been crucial in such a busy period, and Martin Zubimendi would certainly not be looking so exhausted had his midfield partner been available to share the workload. Calafiori's unique profile at left-back also brings an unpredictable option in the final third. The Italian is believed to be nearing a return to action, and with the title race potentially coming down to goal difference, the more attacking threats Arteta can have at his disposal the better. However, it is the absence of Saka and Timber that has hit Arsenal the hardest. That right wing is a problem to which Arteta has no obvious solution. The positive news is that there is optimism at Arsenal both could be back this week, as they push to return ahead of Newcastle's visit on Saturday. Saka has been out since the Carabao Cup final with an Achilles injury, a problem he had been managing for some time before that match. Arteta said last week that Saka had started to do some stuff in his recovery, and that is set to step up this week. There have been suggestions on social media that a return before the end of the season is in doubt, but those are wide of the mark. It is understood that Saka had been targeting a return against City until he had to reluctantly accept that was too big of a risk. He was hugely frustrated to miss out. With no midweek action, the 24-year-old has a clear week to build back towards full fitness, and he is expected to be back running on the grass. Arsenal desperately need him available. Noni Madueke has 2 goals in 20 Premier League appearances and has not played 90 minutes in the league this season. Max Dowman can provide fearless cameos off the bench, but it is unfair to rely on him to start regularly in the heat of a title battle. Both have been given torrid times by Jeremy Doku in recent weeks, while White also struggled in the FA Cup defeat to Southampton. The Englishman has not been effective in attack either. White is at his best when overlapping beyond Saka, who he has a great relationship. Timber is rock solid defensively and has been surprisingly central to Arsenal's attacking plans this season. He often drifted into almost a number 10 position and has 3 goals and 5 assists in the league. Timber is by far Arsenal's best option at right back, and his imminent return from a groin injury will be a big boost. The lack of a convincing alternative is even more apparent with Saka. The poor run the Gunners are on has highlighted the stark truth that Arsenal cannot compensate for those two both being out. Arteta needs Timber and Saka back, even if there are risks involved. It's as simple and as difficult as that. Arsenal were handed an injury boost against Manchester City, with club captain Martin Odegaard returning from injury. The midfielder played the full 90 minutes of the loss after struggling over the last few weeks. The match didn't turn out how Arsenal would have hoped, with goals from Ryan Cherki and Erling Haaland seeing City come out as 2-1 winners. That result has seen Pep Guardiola's side close the gap at the top of the table. The Gunners will now be keeping a close eye on City's midweek match against Burnley. Should they win, then they will overtake Arsenal at the top of the table, but only on goal difference. For Arsenal, concentration will now be on getting back on track when they face Newcastle United at the Emirates Stadium next weekend. The good news for Mikel Arteta is that he could welcome a couple of players back from injury for the match. With that in mind, here is the latest from the Arsenal treatment room. Saka has missed the last 4 games in all competitions after withdrawing from the England squad during the international break. What Arteta has said, Bukayo is out. That's for sure, he said ahead of the game versus City. He's just starting to do some stuff. So let's see that progression, how quickly we can go through it, and then wait. But at the moment it's not about that.